Not to start on a negative note, but what changed? Obviously, you all had a 24-0 lead, and they kind of authored a very nice comeback to tie the score.
I think it was just too many missed assignments, too many missed tackles. That would put the dagger in the game right there for them to start moving the ball and get some momentum. As you saw in like the first half of the game, we were kind of shutting them out with the movement of the ball, making good tackles, and then getting the calls on the sideline, and that kind of decreased as the second half kind of came along. So.
For any of you guys, what was your vantage point of the winning field goal, and just how excited were you to be able to clinch bowl eligibility today?
Yeah, it was really exciting. Walk on freshman, doing it as a plebe. He has a lot of things going on in his head, but he was able to kick it through and obviously win the game for us. So.
Again, for either of you guys, what was Coach Newberry's message to you just in the second half as you're kind of getting run down and they're going on those longer and longer scoring drives?
You just have to finish. Second half, we've been known to not do as well as we did in the first half. So that's our message that he's preaching to us, finish.
Was some of it just simply being on the field as much as you guys were there in that second half?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say it was just missed assignments and missed tackles. We expect to be on the field no matter how long it is. We would prefer for it to be 3 and outs, but if it doesn't, we have to work with adversity. I think today was like one of our biggest tests with adversity, especially on defense in this last half before being so close.
Crow, being a senior captain, can you just talk about the turnaround of having to rebound from 3 and 10? And the season's a long way from being over, but getting bowl eligible is a big step in the right direction.
Definitely. Just having the right teammates, and I mean that in my own way by just being so close and the cohesion that we have. We have goals that we set early in the season, that being CIC, bowl eligibility, winning the conference, and those are just goals in the future. And we don't really focus on those goals. We just kind of take every game step by step. And just having those teammates that you can rely on, knowing that they're going to do their job, and just knowing that at the end of the day, they're just my brothers. These 2 guys up here with me, they're just my brothers. And if they look at that the same way as I look at it, then it's a family atmosphere on the field and on the sideline, and it makes it so much easier to be able to handle adversity. I mean, them coming all the way back, what was it, 38? At one point in time, not 38, whatever the score was, them coming back and it evening it out. Still, I didn't have any lack of confidence that if we had to go in overtime or if we had to go back on the field, that we were going to stop. Just very confident in the guys, and that just started out with the beginning of the season and how hard we worked and how good we meshed together. So.
Well, Diego, you all have talked all season about the unity and the chemistry and the whole team-wide, and Coach even mentioned how important it is to play as a team. And pulling out a game like this, it could have gone either way, and last year these were the games you lost. This had to mean a lot as far as the psyche for the team, don't you think?
Yeah, it does mean a lot. Obviously, we jumped out on top on them, and for them to come back, we kind of faced adversity, and for us to be able to fight together and the offense, doing their job on the ball when we were, slacking was awesome to see, and it was a great team win. That was the first thing Coach said when we got in the locker room. Great team win. That's a great team. I mean, they beat Army, so that's another confidence booster for us. So getting this W tonight just means a lot. So.
Malcolm, tell us about the mindset. It's 38-38, and you got to try to get the team into position with very little time left on the clock, and yet you did it. Can you talk about that last drive?
Just knew it was big to get in field goal range. The offense never gave up hope. They had the same drive mentality all through the game. We had a couple mistakes late in the first half, early in the second half, but proud of the offense and the way they never gave up, and got it done.
Just in general, for both of you guys, what was the perspective on the field goal from the sideline, and just tell me a little bit about how you kind of line things up on that attempt and kind of your approach to that kick.
Well, Every kick, is the same, and I had a really good feeling that our offense was going to get me in range, if not score. So I need to be ready, just go through my normal routine, and do what I always practice doing.
Yeah, I was really confident in BJ, and he's worked for this since summer ball, and we just had a lot of confidence in him to make this. But if not, we were gonna be ready to go.
Right. I've seen him make that kick a lot. Practice. At the end of practice, everybody's screaming, everybody's trying to get in his head, trying to emulate that situation on the field. So I've seen him do it before, and I was really confident in him. But my eyes were closed.
Malcolm, you guys talked a lot this week about how much of a test you expected Tulane to be, especially coming off of their big loss. Were you surprised at how kind of easily things were flowing along, especially for you guys on offense in the first half?
Wasn't really surprised. They came out. They obviously felt like they had a really good plan coming into the game today, and we practiced that all week. So we executed in the first half. They made adjustments. We struggled to adjust, and eventually we got into our groove again. But it wasn't really surprising though.
It was a really big day for fullbacks. What was going so well for you guys? Was it something the coach was doing in the scheme? The play calling looks really good.
Well, I just feel like it was a great game plan we came out with, and our offensive line executed it to perfection at the beginning of the game. I mean, my first 3 touchdowns, I won a touch, so that's all credit to my offensive line.
Malcolm, can you comment about Mr. Carruthers' play? And I mean, he's kind of out of nowhere, really showing up.
Right. I love it. It makes my job a lot easier. I'm not taking as many hits, just handing the ball off and watching him run. So he runs hard. He has great vision. His feet are really great, and it's good to have him for sure.
John, it's just how would you kind of describe what this season has been like for you? I know this is obviously a highlight, but just the level of consistency that you've been able to achieve for the most part here.
I think God has really blessed me to be able to come to the Naval Academy and give me the opportunity to play, especially as a plebe, my freshman. It's been so much fun just to come and be a part of the brotherhood and be at the academy, and I did not expect this when I showed up on I-Day.
Proud of our players, a great team win. Tip your hat to Tulane, that's a good football team. I watched them, I was telling Coach Fritz before the game, I watched them play Auburn on TV, and I was like, oh crap. I mean, just watching them on TV against Auburn, they played them tough. I mean, that's a really good football team, but proud of our players, how they hung in there and continued to keep fighting. Hopefully we don't have too many more of these games. I don't know if I can handle more of these, but just proud of our kids, their resiliency in their fight, and just, it's a great win. And it's, after last year, it's great to be bowl eligible. I'm never gonna take that for granted again.
Questions for Coach?
Ken, how did you feel about when Deshaun walks out there for 48 yards and whatnot? I know he's hit those before, but how are you kind of sizing that situation up there at the end?
Well, I've asked him. Actually, I think I asked him this week, just where does he feel more comfortable, right hash, left hash, and he's like, or middle. He said, Coach, I like the left hash more. I feel like I can get my hips through. And so, we normally center the ball, but I was like, no, I'm gonna keep it on the left hash, because he has a strong leg. I mean, this kid, he kicks 55 plus in practice. And he gets the ball up, he gets it fast, gets the ball up fast. He's as talented as a kicker as we've ever had. It's just, he's a cool for school kid though. But the way he talked is, his tone voice, and that's him. He's got easy going, nothing little rattles him. I always ask him to say something in the meetings, and the kids laugh at him because he's just kind of really cool. But you need a kicker like that doesn't get rattled and it's got some ice in his veins, and really proud of him.
Can you talk about what the offense did to set up Bijan for the kick? Obviously, a very little amount of time left, and that scramble by Malcolm was huge.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything schematic. I got my sheet and stuff. The thought process is keep the ball in Ten's hands. That's how complicated it was. It's like, okay, how do we make sure Malcolm has a chance, just like he did in Air Force? Will this over there. to get us, at least to give us a shot. And then I didn't see the kicker either. Had my eyes praying too. So fortunately, I heard a big scream, so I knew that was good for us. And but that's some, we converted some fourth downs later in the game. And
Coach, along those same lines, you guys were very calm before that drive. I saw you talking to some of the offensive linemen, and it was like a lot of poise, a lot of confidence going into that. Obviously, that played out that way. Was that the kind of mindset you were hoping that you would have seen?
I've seen that from Malcolm this year. I saw it in the Air Force game. I saw it today. The guy's nervous was me. I mean, you're walking back and forth, and I mean, we're human. I mean, you're trying to go through things, and fortunately, we've been coaching a while, so you try to think through scenarios, and it's tough. I mean, because you can prepare all you want during the week and watch tape, but in those kind of stuff, there's split-second decisions. I mean, you don't have time to think. I mean, it's not like you only get 3 timeouts, and I thought our kids showed great composure, especially when they started to come back. And then, the offense responded. But we're a team, and I know there's going to be many times where the defense, like they have all year. I mean, the defense has played phenomenal all year. And that was good offense, though. That quarterback transfer from LSU and that running back, Jiminy Christmas. I mean, there's 2 of the better guys that we've seen, but there's a reason that guy transferred from LSU. He's a good player.
Ken, this is now 2 really big wins, this one in Air Force that you guys have secured with late comebacks. What do you take from that, if anything?
Just the resolve of our kids, the resolve, the grit. All the things that we talk about coming to the Naval Academy. We got some recruits here, and this is what we talk about. This place sets you up to be a leader for our country. NAPS is going to be hard, but it's meant to be hard. The Naval Academy is hard, it's meant to be hard. It's not meant to be easy. And so there are things that we go through that just fortifies our character and just the resolve and the grit of our kids. But you got to be a tough person to go to school here, and I say that every week. And just really proud of our guys, because like I said, they started to come back there at the end. They had us rattled a little bit, and to their credit, they kept fighting. But again, to our guys' credit, we were, like boxing, they gave us a standing 8 count, and we responded though. We came back in the later rounds, and first couple rounds we're doing great. They came back in the middle rounds, but we came out back at the end. So just proud of our guys' resolve, just the grit and the resolve.
What do you kind of make of what Carruthers was able to give to you? It's obviously been a few weeks now, but this was obviously with the help of that line opening those holes. But what do you kind of make of that?
Well, we felt like, they have a good plan, but we knew that they would line up the same way. I knew that they felt pretty good about what they did. And so we had some adjustments, that we were working on. And so we felt like we had some good things that would work, and they did early on. They made some adjustments, to their credit. And then we had to try to make some later on. That's football. There's, a chess match going on. They do this. We started off with this. They did that. And we had to counter. Unfortunately, we countered enough to get the win.
But along those lines, how nice is it to have a guy that when he gets in the open, he's finishing. Carruthers is a real finisher.
And in some of the things he broke tackles, and he's breaking tackles and he's taking it to the house. So to have a guy that can take things that the distance is definitely a great luxury, because we know the quarterback can. And so when you got 2 guys that can take it to the house, it definitely helps, and our guys on the perimeter can. So, I like where we're at right now as a program. I know people question us being in this league and, all this kind of stuff, but we had to work. We had to work to get our talent up to this league. We won early on when we came in this league, but we had a once-in-a-generation quarterback that, that was as good a quarterback. Leading scorer in the history of college football. But I like where our program is at. Chet's been really good in providing things for us that we need to compete at this level. And I feel good as the head coach because I feel like I haven't compromised who we are. I haven't brought in kids that would be a disgrace to our school and our country. So I feel really good where our program is at, because we're competing against these guys, and we got good kids, man. We got really good kids. We graduate. So just overall, from a football program, I'm grateful to be winning on the field, but we're doing things the right way too, which is probably gives me the greatest satisfaction.
You talked about how great it is to be bowl eligible, which is, you mentioned not taking it for granted, but then also 4-1 in the conference, and you're very much in the picture for the West Division.
Just excited for our kids, Wags, because it's hard. This is a really tough league, man. This league is hard, and we knew that. And we've had to make some adjustments as a program, as an institution, without sacrificing our mission and who we are. And, we've had some meetings behind closed doors, and just want to assure people we're not going to do anything to embarrass our school. And so for us to be able to compete with these guys, with the kind of kids that we have, the academic requirements of this school, and I couldn't be more ecstatic.